Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. How are you?
Welcome. Hello, my dear Mariam. Welcome to our episode number 48, 49. I'm not remembering quite right. And as usual, we got a beautiful talk before the episode. And today's topic we found inspired to share about how does deep, true pain actually nourishes us over the long run, actually strengthen us fully, actually awakens us, and finally make us feel alive. So
Hmm.
we're talking about the deep pain, the ones that really hurt us, fudge on a deep level, no matter what it was in your life and how it showed up. Um, so yeah, let's talk about this pain, Miriam.
Yeah,
Why not?
yeah, I would love that. I think we talk too little about pain, about all the difficulties we go through, right? Especially with the social media world, we always see the highlights in our lives, but it's so important to also to give some credit to the difficult parts and to the painful parts because they are so valuable as well.
You're right. Absolutely. The pain I'm referring for me is really the fucking heart clenching pain, you know? When you feel deeply shaken to your core, when you feel your whole body shattered, your whole heart shattered, your own mind shattered, you're confused, and your body reflects a lot of signs, right?
Mm.
Of pain, of anxiety, of stress, of feeling unsafe, right? So you feel an urge to cry, you feel like a constriction of your heart, you feel deep fear that you cannot explain where it comes from. And when the things you are fearful the most happens, or you end up being in separation of what you were attached towards, then this pain comes in. The pain
Mm.
comes during the moment, can come after the moments. And as you must imagine, pain is often attached to a form of rejection sometimes, a form of separation, a form of heartbreak, a form of failed dream, or
Mm.
something we dared to do and then we ended up not succeeding the way we expected it to succeed it.
Mm.
Failed expectations. So anything that showed up to you but heart clenchingly made you want to cry and scream and feel constricted and restricted energetically. And that makes you feel good at the end of the day. That's the
Mm.
kind of pain we're talking about today.
Mm. Yeah.
What do you think?
So let me structure my thoughts about it. I mean, right now, since I re-experienced that kind of pain that you were talking about, but I'm already in a phase over it, so I can see it in a very objective way, that pain, that strong pain. I am just so grateful for having the chance to experience it and taking really the learning from it because I think a lot of people can also hold on to that pain and choose to suffer instead of choosing to taking the lesson and really understanding what was it for, because I truly believe that everything is for you, it's not against you, never. So again, perspective, right? So how do we choose to see that kind of pain? And once you go over the suffering, I think you can only see positivity in that pain. And um, I don't want to make it small or not valuable if someone is right now in that situation, because if you are in that situation, you don't want to hear someone telling you those things and telling you wait for the ending, wait for the lesson that you learned. You go out of it so stronger. No, I don't want to make it smaller as it is, because it is the hardest thing, one of the hardest things that you can feel, depending on if it's grief, if it's a heartbreak, or whatever is pain for you, you know. But you know, it's I experienced myself when I was in that situation that I, for a few weeks, I told my close friends, I'm just feeling pain. It doesn't hurt. It's I don't have an injury. I just feel pain, literally as if my heart is broken, shattered into little pieces, and I'm not feeling anything else than pain, literally pain. So, and it's so crazy because you cannot see it, right? You don't see a wound, you don't see blood, you don't see anything not working in your body. Everything is functioning, but it's just something deep, deep, deep inside you. So, I think that is the hardest kind of pain, and it's also a pain that you cannot take a pill against it. You cannot eat chocolate. You cannot book a holiday trip and it's gone. No, it's there until you find a way to deal with it, or you become stronger, or you survive the pain. I don't think that the pain is removed. I think it can kind of like shift into a different energy, into strength, maybe into a learning lesson, but I don't feel like it's removed because it will be part of you. You will never forget that kind of pain. You will never forget that kind of grief if you lost someone, for example. It just changes you and the way you think. And if we choose to see it in a positive way, in a beautiful way, it can actually bring you one step or even a few steps further towards the goal that you have in on your mind, or that is written for you. So you can actually really take that pain and go into the transformation. So this is the beauty part of that pain, to really choose once you're ready. Okay, I'm having enough of suffering, maybe, or being in or experiencing that feeling. So now I want to shift that pain into something else. And that can be a very elevating state. Like I remember myself, I was in the best shape of my life afterwards because I had so much power to
Energy.
train, and
Mhm.
also to go further, and also to choose more what I want, because it's kind of like I think you are full of adrenaline as well. So it literally something is happening inside your body. And then, of course, when you reach that high, it will also go down again because we know it's just a high. And then you will neutralize and you find a way to find more balance with that pain. So the pain is actually really transforming into more a sustainable way of changing your character or the way you go through life. So this is how I felt the faces experiencing that kind of pain.
I love that. Really, thank you. It inspires me to add that we tend as humans to often want to just have the positive feelings, right? The ecstatic feeling, the excitement, the joy, the feeling of happiness, the feeling of being a child again and having fun, the feeling of, feeling confident in what we have to deliver for a pitch, the feeling
Mm,
of winning, the feeling of,
mm,
being loved.
mm,
And I invite us to understand that all this pain and this suffering, know how much this feeling of joy, excitement, and happiness makes you feel alive. But in the same time, all this experience of pain and suffering that we say that you said you cannot touch is actually making you feel alive as well, guys.
mm,
It is part of our journey to
mm,
experience those contrasts.
mm.
And that's the beauty of pain and suffering,
Yeah.
because it is part of being alive on this earth.
Mm,
It is part of awakening different
mhm,
lessons, different understanding, and also resilience. Because, like
mm,
you said it so beautifully, we will go through this pain. There's different
mm,
ways of treating the pain, like you said, is not always the most healthy long term for most, but
mm,
others will face it,
mm,
free from it, heal from it until another pain comes in.
mhm,
No? So
mhm,
instead of seeing it as an enemy, let us
mm,
make peace with this feeling of uncertainty and pain and clenching their heart and embrace it fully, because
mm,
it's not going to dissolve you. It's not going to make you disappear. It's not
mm,
going to destroy you.
Mm,
because you are an infinite being.
mm,
You are going to go through it. Like you went through all your other emotions, all your other
mm,
challenges in life.
mm,
You have this immense capability to continue life
mm,
because there's something deeper in us that's being called to just live fully and to continue living this way.
mm,
Not by pain, but just experiencing everything that has to offer this life,
mm,
right? And you said it too. This pain is, we often tend to resist it, this form of pain, because it's not a understanding pain, right? Like you said, when we have something happening physically in our body, we have science to back it, we have practices, we have concrete results and scan that we can do and test results and everything, and we can comprehend it in our mind. But when it's an unseen pain inside of us, we cannot grasp it, you cannot understand it, so you feel at lost, you feel like you lose your points of references of
mm,
understanding it. And
mm,
this feeling of not knowing, this feeling of novelty, of uncharted territory, is what feeds even more this
mm,
this pain and this desire to make it go away. Because I don't understand it, I want to make it go away.
mm,
So your
mm,
greatest asset, and I'm talking to myself because we spoke earlier, Mariam, your greatest asset is to make peace with the unknown and to
mm,
learn to sit with this pain and express and experience it and embrace it fully. And the
mm,
more you're going to do that, the more you're going to embrace life fully. The
mm,
more you're going to be grateful for all the spectrum of feelings you're living in this life. And the
mm,
more you will be growing in your courage, in your integrity, in your authenticity, and in your inner peace, and in your inner freedom.
mm. It's so, so, so true. No, it's beautiful what you said. Like really making that pain part of our life, but also like in a positive way, because we are so used to or trained to think that only when we smile, only when we are happy, we are fulfilled in life. But we can only be happy by experiencing also the other parts, right? So pain, understanding that boredom, understanding that patience, all these phases, all these other emotions in our life are there to experience the other high or good feelings and emotions as well. But there is no bad and no wrong and no right between the emotions. Both of them are
Exactly.
completely valuable, completely the same. I mean, from childhood on, we are trained to someone is hurting, crying. Oh,
That's
don't
true.
cry, it's okay. Stop, right?
Yeah.
Immediately stop. But for what? Like it's good. Like me, I actually embrace now crying. Right? For me, for example, I remember like I had to kind of grow up a little bit faster than other children in my childhood. Or become a bit more mature faster. So I remember for me, crying was very difficult because I trained myself from a young age not to cry, to be strong and to continue and everything, right? So for me, actually showing that vulnerability, crying, being soft with myself, and really understanding that it's not sad to cry. Like really understand it's not
It's not bad too.
cry.
Mhm.
Exactly. You can cry and you can laugh the next moments, you know? It can be both. Wait, it doesn't mean that now your whole day is gone. No, it's just the emotion that needs to go out. 5 minutes later, you can have crazy laughs with your best friend, you know? I think if we give it a different meaning, those feelings of pain, of crying, of
Mhm.
negative feelings, and understand that they are just feelings, they come, they go, they will pass by. We will also deal easier with pain because we understand it's a momentum. It will not stay forever. Even if it's a phase of a few weeks, you will not stay in this forever. It will pass by. It's okay
Amen.
and very normal.
What a beautiful
So,
reminder. Oh, I needed that. Everything is of passage. You are right. And shifting your perspective in observing these emotions and feelings of happiness and pain are not contradictory. You're right. Englobing the gratitude and joy can englobe all of this, even when you are in pain and suffering. And
Mm,
that's the greatest state you can have for yourself, because then if you don't resist it, don't find anything you experience as an enemy, then
mm,
everything flows more easier and you enjoy life more
mm,
fully. And you
mm,
are so right that society has trained us to hide away, to be ashamed of being
mm,
sad, being mad, screaming, showing our vulnerability, and it's so interesting because we have been, no matter where we're from, whatever our age or culture background, we've been in a common way been asked to put that away. You're not allowed to cry. Don't cry, don't cry. Everything is good. Be happy, be happy. And that's like if we're asking ourselves to reject a part of us that is integrated, that is
mm,
part of us. It's like if you're asking, I don't want this arm anymore, Macy. Let me cut this arm. Let me ignore it. Let me just refute it,
mm,
reject it. But that's part of
mm,
your body.
mm,
How insane, how
mm,
silly it is to ask us to
mm.
reject a part of our life
Yeah,
or of a
yeah.
life, of a
Mm.
human experience. You're right.
So I hope that for me, when I'm looking back towards the moments where I felt pain, um, uh, what was I hoping someone would tell me? How would someone talk to me in that moment? Because I remember, um, if people were actually letting me suffer for a moment or letting me express the emotions, letting me cry until there was no tears anymore, I felt way more released and more ready to step up the next day. But if I had to suppress, and pretend, oh, things are fine, everything is okay, I knew,
Mm,
like, I'm just gonna put everything into the back of my head and I'm gonna compensate, because as we know, energy will never go away, even the bad energy, so it will just transform into something else, maybe a pain in your body, maybe something somatic, we never know. So what I think for me, if I would have someone telling me more often, even if I would be young, that it's so good to let everything out, to be in a bad moment or to be in a bad state for a while, I would have a better relationship with pain from early on. So I think, we should somehow also
retrain
learn
ourselves.
learn to change our perspective towards pain or towards, bad emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And, as I said in the beginning, like, in the time of social media, because I'm always referring to that topic because it's so present in our daily life. Constantly we are confronted with happiness highlights, moments of highlights in people's life. So it's it does something to us unconsciously, so we always think it's even harder to show our pain. So this is why it's so important to always remind ourselves that it's not reality, and those people are also going through exactly the same thing like us, exactly the same thing. And I experienced it really with a lot of people that I saw who have accounts on social media and showing this, and they're actually so happy if someone makes the first step to show vulnerability on the platform and express their feelings. And, it's same in daily life when you are in a group with friends and you're the first one opening up, sharing your pain, sharing what is on your heart. You immediately see someone else feels welcome to open up. So maybe this is also a beautiful way to handle that situation, to just start opening up and saying, "Hey, I'm very sorry. but I'm going right now through this and I'm not in the best situation of my life, but this is how I feel. And even if you have to cry and you have to let it out, maybe someone else feels welcome to also share what is not that good in the moment and to really understand it's just a moment in your life. And then you can laugh about it again.
It's
And
a
I think
passage.
in my situation, I would have want someone telling me that it's acceptable and that I can let it out. And maybe someone else feels welcome to share as well. So,
It's beautiful, Miriam. And I feel like inspired to say that my way that I expressed my own pain was with myself at the beginning, and I allowed myself today to cry, to express the pain, and to scream if I needed to journal. And I realized that it empowered me so much, just like you said, after your pain, it empowered you because you allowed it
mm,
to be felt. It
mm,
empowers you because you are making front and facing everything in front of you. You're not avoiding it anymore. And like you said, it's so much of passage. And the
mm,
more you're gonna face it, the more you're gonna allow it to be
mm,
felt,
mhm,
the quicker it will leave. And that's
mm,
what I do in my coaching calls. I invite people to actually accept and leave the negative emotions to let
mm,
them know that it doesn't define them, that they're safe experiencing those emotions because it will come and go, like you said.
mm,
So the same goes with pain. Pain is
mm,
just a bundle of even more negative and intense emotions that makes
mm,
you feel even less safe. But at the end of the day, it's the same concept as experiencing an emotion. It
mm,
come and goes. It's just is anchoring even a bit more, right? This deep
mm,
feeling of pain. And I want to say, we're finishing up, that I realized too that I've kind of learned and embodied the mental pain. So when I was hurting and understanding why I was hurting, I was able to embrace all of the pain around my belief system and understanding and everything, right? And thus
mm,
I was able to embrace the letting go of this pain I was experiencing. And now,
mm,
right now in my life, I feel like I'm learning to embrace the pain in a somatic way because
mm,
the brain doesn't understand yet my
mm,
somatic feelings and the pain because the
mm,
brain in my case understands some things,
mm,
but the body is not in the same reality. So there's a
mm,
mixed match that makes
mm,
me have a form of resistance
mm,
rather than just embrace the pain in the somatic way because it's the
mm,
same concept. It will come and go. It's
mm,
okay. Let it breathe. Let it feel it. Let it feel this pain and discomfort inside of your body. It will
mm,
go. So it's very interesting for me. I feel like pain will show up in different ways and in
mm,
different parts of you, should
mm.
I say.
It's true. This is why I think the combination of mind work and body work is so, so, so important because everything we are going through, the emotions, is a constant training in our brain. And for me, it's always like you train your brain, but you, if you don't use the body to channel that energy, it will be stuck. So you need to release, you need to twist, you need to open, you need to mobilize shoulders, hip joints, you need to strengthen as well. So this is why I'm um such a, how do you say, like proactive person for movement, somatic movement, even if it's not yoga, you know. You can start just by extending the arms and just releasing everything, you know, little movements to shake everything out, and you can immediately feel how you release tension, how you release all that pressure. So movement is always such a freeing tool to release all that stuck emotions. And even if you are a person who cannot cry, right, and who cannot express the emotions so easily, maybe even men, you know, because men are more trained to suppress, so they feel very alive or energized in their body when they go into training to release
To their
everything, right?
movement.
More into movement. And but I also experienced that with a lot of women. So even if it's breathing exercises where you can actively release something through the mouth. So maybe this is another good tool to start releasing those emotions and to finding a healthier way to deal with the emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh my gosh, I love it, my dear. Okay, we're just gonna conclude. I love that it was straight to the point. I feel like we
Mhm.
were really embodied in what we had to share today. And
Mhm.
it's truthful, exactly. There's different parts of yourself, and it's a question of aligning,
Mm,
balancing, and see what works for you, what
mm,
makes you feel alive even more through all of the surfs of the waves and of life, right?
mhm,
And
mhm,
it goes how? Through experiencing, through
mhm,
introspection, and through self-awareness, guys.
mhm,
That's the beauty of it.
mhm,
Every situation that brought you the hectic, insane, beautiful, joyful moment or the painful moments and negative emotions, quote unquote, is an opportunity for you to rise in
mhm,
awareness, to rise in peace, to
mhm.
live fully your experience of life.
It's true.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let us
It was
see you next
beautiful.
week. I believe it's not the
Yes.
holidays yet. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you.